the Ubuntu weapon. The man who defeated apartheid with a smile. Imagine standing up to one of the most racist governments in history, without an army, without political power, and without violence, yet helping change an entire nation forever. This is the extraordinary story of Desmond Tutu. Desmond Tutu was born in South Africa in 1931, during a time when racial segregation was becoming deeply entrenched. As apartheid grew, native South Africans were stripped of basic rights, while Caucasians, foreigners, who were the minority, ruled through fear and discrimination. Most people expected anger to be answered with anger, but not Tutu. As an Anglican bishop and later Archbishop of Cape Town, he became one of apartheid's most fearless critics. He spoke with a voice so powerful that governments couldn't silence him and the world couldn't ignore him. He called for justice, but also urged people to reject revenge. When apartheid finally ended and Mandela became president, South Africa stood at a crossroads. The country could have descended into civil war. Instead, Desmond Tutu chaired the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, where victims confronted those who had harmed them. The goal was not to erase the past. It was to expose the truth, promote accountability, and give the nation a chance to heal. Everyone agreed that it wasn't perfect. It wasn't easy, but it showed the world that forgiveness can be a force powerful enough to prevent another cycle of violence. For his lifetime of fight for human rights and peace, Tutu received the Nobel Prize in 1984, yet he remained humble, reminding people that real courage isn't about defeating your enemies. It's about refusing to become like them. But there are many who believe that South African freedom fighters got it wrong, all wrong. They look at South Africa today and cover their faces in shame at the stark segregations. The fact that 70% of South Africa's land still belong to foreigners is a haunting reality, too terrible to know. The fact that some cities in South Africa or beaches in South Africa is still segregated in Africa is a disgrace to all of Africa. And what happened to the nuclear capability of South Africa after the colonialists were no longer in power? This clearly shows South African freedom fighters were fooled. Yes, they were fooled. Their partners did not. They never meant well. And their actions show it. And this was what Winnie Mandela was crying about. This was what Mama Africa was saying. This was why they banned her from South Africa. Israel was paid for the atrocity it suffered by Germany. Why not South Africa? Why not Haiti? Why not the Democratic Republic of Congo by Belgium? Why not? Or what do you think? Let the world know. If this story moved you or made you think, share it, follow, like, and subscribe. This is the truth. You know better now. Tell others. Emeka Ray is my name. Do the right thing.